Hello, everyone. It's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. I want to talk about this news story. Let's see here. DC Comics blasted for changing Superman's American Way motto, a distortion and a disservice to fans. So we're going to talk about that, but first I got to show you. Here's my stand, by the way. I got to show you the whole mess of graphic novels and comics. They're the same thing. I've got laid across my table with my big giant Godzilla versus Mothra, playmat here. So they kept nice. I have to sign all of these before tomorrow when I've got some people coming over to help package books, and a lot more than this, by the way. But I want to remind you before we get into the story to check out Alterna's campaign. It is fall pre-orders. That's what it's called. Check it out. Support Alterna. Comics are super cheap. I mean, if you like these graphic novel formats, these thick graphic novels, foil stamp, all that jazz, and you want to pay for it, that's fantastic. And I'll have these up on my website eventually after this campaign's completely fulfilled. But if you want to get into the series, go buy issue number 1, or better yet, buy the whole issue. Maybe you've got all and you're completist. But check out Alterna Comics. Whether you're getting Downcast or any other book, they're just an awesome company to support. All right, so we're going to go through this story with DC Comics and Superman. And why is that? It's not because I actually care, because I don't. And I'll tell you why I don't care. First off, for all of the complaining that comic book professionals do about YouTube channels criticizing the comic book industry, and the argument being, why on earth are these comic book publishers making their comics into political propaganda, right? For all the complaining they do about that group, or insistence that they're going to blacklist anybody that subscribes to those thoughts and opinions, they do exactly the same thing that they're accusing everyone else of doing. And what is that? That is doing something controversial, or saying something's controversial, or making a controversy to try and get attention to sell books. That's essentially what it comes down to. So yeah, they are definitely projecting 100%. The difference is that they actually sell a major significant number of books when they do stuff like this, versus your random YouTuber that makes videos. And yeah, maybe you sell books because you're offering an alternative. But they're specifically doing this because they know that they'll get media coverage. They're not even going to say it themselves, right? They're not going to make the argument themselves. What they're going to do is change something in a big way that is clearly going to be divisive and controversial, and then let channels like Fox News take over the reins and do the promotion for them. So the big reason I don't care is because that's the only way to fix this stuff. When the moment that they see that it's not actually getting them more attention or selling more books, they're going to stop doing that kind of stuff, because their controversy sells. They could have killed off Superman. Maybe that worked once. Fool me once. This time they're going to make him bisexual, or his son rather. But that all they care about is the headline. So that's what they're going to go with. And in this case, get rid of the motto, American Way. Get rid of that part. I think they're replacing it with a better world. So here's the good faith argument. Let's say that you think that Superman belongs to the world now. He's not an American superhero anymore. And you want to make him more accessible to everybody in the whole earth. Okay? So you could say that. However, I think a lot of people out there, especially if they're interested in Superman, know that he's an American superhero, and really what's so wrong with him being proud of America? If you looked at a different superhero, or different storytellers, let's think about James Bond, for instance. It's always for England. Does that offend me? That it's for the Queen because I'm an American? No, that's his character. It's awesome. All right, I respect that. It's James Bond. You could say the same thing about any number of characters. That's part of their character, right? It's not who can read this book. It's, hey, I mean, this character's like super into America. He's an immigrant, after all, a literal alien, and came to Earth, came to America, went to, anyway, so he's a normal American dude, and he's got, normal, he's not a normal American dude, but he's got a very strong, feelings toward America. That's sort of the basis of what Superman has been, right? Clearly, because it's in his motto. So that's the good faith argument, and my good faith argument back. Here's the bad faith clickbait argument, and that is that America no longer symbolizes what Superman stands for, and that America has let Superman down. Therefore, that has to be taken out because America is a terrible place, and we're going to talk about a better future because, I don't know, 1984 or something like that. And I'm being a little facetious there, but that is actually the perspective that many people take on it. And I would venture a guess that that is more accurate to why this has been changed rather than Superman becoming non-political. Now, you can see that as well because in the Superman comic book, he's in a picket line and they are, protesting climate change as some Kraken beast is in the background destroying the world. And so is it really to make Superman less political? Clearly not. It's to make him political. It is the opposite of what you're saying. So should Superman be political? I mean, no more than any other comic book. I think everyone already knows that there have been some degree in politics involved with comic book characters, but the difference is changing a book that's meant to change the readership. It's meant to make the readership think a certain way. So I really wish that Fox News would quit covering this stuff when they do this, because it's such an old trick. It's such old news. Maybe Fox News benefits from it, and after all, I guess I'm making a video of it right now. But that's only to say that this is clearly what they want. This is the reaction that they hope for. So I would play this, but I don't think it's going to sound great. So let me read a couple quotes for you here. This is clearly a distortion and a disservice to anyone who loved Superman, that read the comic books and watched those movies. All right, here's another one. Here's why, remember, this was about an alien from another planet, a dying planet that comes and lands on the heartland of America and embodies the American ideals of freedom and justice. He wears red, white, and blue, for goodness sake. There's yellow in there too, isn't there? But I digress. Anyway, so that's the point. So that's the face value point. But again, it's not really about any of this. It's about appeasing the right kind of people on Twitter, and 2, making the right kind of people mad about it, and 3, hopefully seeing a spike in sales because of all of the attention that will surely end. This is just like variant covers or endless events, and that is trying to find hot button issues to make outrage over so that they can sell some #1 issues, move some books, and then move on to the next story arc. None of this, I mean, I've seen it too many times. It just doesn't matter. That's why I'm making my own comic books, though. So if you haven't backed Downcast, a few different ways to get it, you can check it out right now on Indiegogo on my campaign. And that is the Downcast Volume 3 campaign. This right here is Downcast 1 and 2, Volumes 1 and 2, in a nice, thick graphic novel. You can get that, but you can also catch up on Downcast with Alterna Comics by following it single issue at a time. Really appreciate everybody for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.